We're not going to do any of the subscribe or any of those things today. I would love for you to subscribe and join a part of the family. But it's been on my heart since we've been gaining more and more subscribers by the day for me to go ahead and be honest with you guys and let you guys in on a big piece of me and something that took up a lot of my life, a lot more than I should have let it. But sometimes it's harder than you think. So you can read the title. Hello, my darlings. My name is Morgan, and I'm an addict. Let's go ahead and let me bring you in a little bit closer. So when I was younger, okay, I had a really good childhood, okay? Don't get me wrong. I had a really good childhood. There were pieces that weren't easy. And those I'm going to remain to keep private, just because I want to keep them private. Just know I had a really great childhood, but there were certain pieces that weren't the best. And drugs were introduced into my life at a very young age. Now, I had smoked weed and done shrooms in high school, okay? So I never had really dipped my toes in it, if you will, okay? Fast forward, I go through a really traumatic breakup, okay? Really horrible on me. It was really, really hard. And I meet this next guy. We fall in love and end up getting pregnant. I end up having a miscarriage and having to have a DNC. This is where everything began. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. For the most part, some things I'm going to keep private just because I choose to keep them private. But I did start doing pain pills. A friend of mine, she was like, look, if you're depressed and, it got to the point to where I was just super depressed. Me and him end up breaking up and my depression gets worse. I'm literally not doing anything but going to work and coming home. It got really bad. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Sure. Very not like me, but I did. And that started a whirlwind and would create a monster. So guys, I have so many story times in the midst of this, but before I give you all any of these story times, which there are hundreds, I first just want to bring awareness because some of these story times are going to come off as really funny, but in the moment, they were my actual literal life, okay? So before I come out with these story times of me being on whatever, I just want you guys to know that this was my life. This is something that took control over me, and I was a horrible person for a long time because of this. I also was really good at hiding it, like genius at hiding it. If there were classes to be taught for how to hide you being an addict, I could have taught the class. Like I was A1 at it until I wasn't, until things got too far. So from 2010 until 2016, I was an addict. That's 6 years. 6 years of my life that was completely wasted. I cannot tell you the amount of money that is wasted. I went to rehabs, all of these things. I'm very fortunate that I never got arrested. I never got in any type of trouble or anything like that, but it consumed so much of my life. And I tried many times to quit for other people, for boyfriends, for family members, whatever. And it never worked until I wanted to. And today I'm going to tell you about when I quit. The in-between stuff we will get more into later because I'm going to kind of tell different stories. But today we're going to talk about the day that I quit. Just know that I was at the bottom of the bottom. I had nowhere to live. I had no car. I had no job. I had no money. I had no friends, no real friends. All of my real friends were protecting their own selves by not associating themselves with me, which I cannot blame them for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of them had kids or were married, and like they can't be around an addict. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just can't have that. So I wasn't associating with my family unless it was a holiday, and I would go and not be on anything because I was so ashamed to be on anything around them. I wouldn't go to anything else. I had nothing, you guys. Literally nothing. And one day I wake up and I'm over it. Completely and utterly over it. And I call my mom and I tell her, I'm like, Mom, I'm like over it. I'm done. Like, I have literally nothing, and I'm close to 30 years old, you know. And she's like, well, what do you want to do about it? And I said, I want to get clean. And she said, okay, then come up here and stay with me. And that's what I did. And detox was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. Now, mind you, I had been sick before, if you know what I'm saying. Obviously, if you've been on drugs, then you know you've been sick. It happens. But detox, like going all the way through it. And like I said, I had been to rehab, but like I would leave. I would not stay. I would leave. I would get to the part to where you're either going to stay clean or you're not. And I would get to that point, and then I would get antsy and want more drugs and leave. So I go to my mom's, I go through detox. It's absolute hell. Because of how long it was taking me to feel better, my mom even considered like taking me to a doctor or something because she thought something was wrong with me because of how long it was taking me to get clean. And reminder, this is off of opiates. I was getting clean off of opiates. And my detox was absolute hell. Just to explain a little bit, I have a journal. So I have this journal that I wrote some things in during that time. And I just want to read it for you, like how I felt this day. So this is January of 2016. Today, I feel like shit. Today is day number 14. My skin still hurts. My body still aches. My knees still feel like they're breaking. I'm still not really eating meals, still just picking at things. Got up for a little while today, got dizzy and felt sick and went and laid back down. Was up for a total of 4 hours out of the entire day. Hayden wanted me to go outside and play. I tried for a little bit, got tired, had to come back inside. I no longer feel like my eyes are going to bulge out of my head or feel like I'm going to shit my pants. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I just can't wait for all this to be over and for me to start. I just cannot wait for all this to be over and for me to be able to live a normal life. Reading these is really hard, and I have a lot of these written down from like during my drug use. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and tell this and let you guys know, yes, I am an addict. Yes, I have made mistakes. I worked my ass off to get to where I am now. Thank God I am 4 years clean and sober, almost 5. And it wasn't easy to get here. And I'm proud of myself. And I'm proud that, you know, I have somewhere to live. I have multiple cars. I have a man who loves me. I have a relationship with all of my family. I have a relationship with all of you guys, plus my best friends in my life. I have so much more in my life, and I worked hard to get here. And I just want people to know, please, if you watch this video and you're thinking about doing it, or you've had somebody offer it to you and you said no, and now you're second guessing yourself, stick to what you've decided. Don't do it, because I promise you, just trying it once will change your life. I mean, yes, maybe there's a possibility that maybe you might not ever touch it again, and that would be great, but what if not? What if not? What if you touch it and then you need it again? Or it's all you can think about. And it mind fucks you to think that you have to have it. I have to have it. And you call all these people, and then it becomes your life. Then it becomes your life. Then you spend all the money that you have in your checking, all the money you have in your savings. You've sold everything that you ever had of value. And now you're just scraping along, working. I mean, I would work 3 jobs at a time to support my habit. 3 jobs at a time. Just to support a habit. So I hope that this helps somebody. I just hope that you guys understand that drug addiction is a disease. It is a disease. It steals your life completely. And if maybe you have judged somebody before for being an addict, maybe you stumble across this video, and maybe this will give you a little bit of perspective that sometimes it's the hardest thing. Well, let me take that back. Most of the time, getting sober is the hardest thing someone will ever do. So yeah, I love you guys. I hope this will bring us a little bit closer and give you a little insight on me. And also just keep in mind with future videos of me telling stories of when I was under the influence of drugs. Please just know that this was years ago. I am clean, but it took a lot of years away from my life. I lost a lot of time with my family. I have friends that still to this day, we don't have the relationship we used to have because I got on drugs. And not because I stole from them or anything like that. I wasn't that type of addict, thank God. But because I was an embarrassment for them. So yeah, I hope this gives you a little bit of perspective into Morgan Shea. I love each and every single one of you all so much. And until next time, bye.